to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need. It's you that I wanna need. And I know now we're getting older. The world we built is slipping through our fingers. We're running out of time. But you are the one I've chosen. And I won't lay still, living left behind, imprisoned by this love. I could feel your
Alright, what's going on, guys? Oh, don't need that on the screen, do we? Sorry about whatever just happened there. We tried to schedule a live event, but it wanted me to use Hangouts instead of whatever it is we normally do. I'm new to live streaming on YouTube. We generally do this pre-recorded or live stream on Twitch. Used to do that, but we don't do that anymore. Alright, so guys, welcome back. This is our second live stream. I did not save our last hit the microphone there. Didn't save our last live stream. I don't know if we'll save this one. These are really just something to do in between episodes. Last time we photoshopped together this concept piece here, and what we did was we used that live stream as part of a recording for our last episode. Originally I was going to use this live stream as part of a recording, but actually we're just going to use it for reference because we got to build this website once first, get through all the trouble and headaches, and then we can use that to build the episode that is coming up in 2 weeks. Should be on the 26th if it's on time. It's never on time, so expect the 26th or the next few days after that. So we are going to be using standard HTML and CSS using Flexbox to create the following design that you see here up on your page, which very likely will become the robosquidtv.com website in the near future. We're going to just kind of dissect it here. I wish maybe we can get this bar to go away. Windows 10. Really? Well, that's just annoying. View actual. All right, there we go. That'll work. All right, so what we have here is now with Flexbox, pretty much any web design in general, the way I like to look at things is look at them in terms of rows. Okay, so what you can see here is this is a clear defined row. That's our navigation. We have a clear defined row here, and then goes on and on and on. Typically, you would design your website to be mobile first. Which most of the time just has everything stacked on top of each other, and then you would add CSS media queries in order to make it larger for desktop. But that's not what we're doing, mostly because I happen to know that 60% of you are on desktop currently right now. Maybe not for the live stream, but definitely for the videos. And in my use case, most of our viewers to this website will be on a desktop as opposed to mobile, but those are the types of decisions that you need to make when you are designing your website. Also, I mean, mobile first is correct most of the time, but it is harder to code mobile first because generally there is more actual HTML markup needed to create the desktop site, so it's kind of ghosted in the mobile version. It's a little confusing, maybe we'll get into that. But let's get started. This will be fun for everybody because I am using Microsoft's Visual Code, or VS Code, Visual Studio Code, for the first time. Normally we use a program called Brackets, but I've been meaning to get into this for quite a while. So I'm going to get started here, guys. Feel free to chat in the comments. I do have you open up on my other screen, and hopefully we can do something there. What I've started here is a basic HTML5 template. There's nothing here except we have our head and body and some basic stuff here and a blank main CSS file. So the one thing that I will warn you is we're going to use something called Emmet a lot, which is I'm not actually sure what to call it. I would call it a script, but I don't know if that's true. Emmet is a tool that is in a lot of code editors that lets us type HTML faster, and then it expands it. So the first thing I want to do is let's take a look here. And we can change our markup later, but what I'm going to do is kind of build the rows, okay? So what I have here is nav, we'll do hero, and I'm sorry guys, let me just turn down my music a little bit. I know you guys can't hear it, but it is very loud to me. Okay. We have our navigation, our hero, our email, our features. Features might be too, well, no, we'll break it down even further. Okay, so features, premium, we'll call this a call to action, and social is our footer. So I'm just going to move this over here. I know you guys won't be able to see it, but I need the extra screen real estate. I would split it, but since I have to make the text large enough for you guys, I just do not have enough room. So first we're going to do is create the navigation. And I'm using Emmet here, so stay with me, but it'll make sense in a moment. Then we're going to have a .hero. We're going to have we'll call the email section, we'll call this, we will call this .email. You know what, that's really not good enough. We're going to call this email row. All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll call this the hero row. We'll call this the nav row. What we'll do is we'll have a small naming convention here. Email row. What do we have next? Oh, gotta put a plus sign here. Next we have our features row. Make sure that if you're making a class, it starts with a dot like that. And we have our, well, we call that an email row, so we'll call it a premium row. If we need to change it later, we'll change it later. Premium row. And lastly, we have it's actually going to be a footer element with the .social. Yeah, we'll call that the social row. And now watch what happens when we press tab, thanks to Emmet. What that does is converts this all to markup for us. So we have, oops, this is supposed to be nav.row. Get rid of that real quick. So we have our nav, we have a div for our hero, a div for email, features, premium, and social. And you can see the social is actually a footer just like that. I'm going to do a similar thing here. Class equals, and what did we say this was going to be? Nav row. All right. So we have our basic information here. Let's just start flushing it out. And basically, this is just going to take shape as we go on. So the more we code, the more it'll start to make sense to us. Basically, you and I both, we have no idea. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at my own face. I should be looking at you. We have I don't really know how we're going to build this website. I don't have a clear path. What we're going to do is start just filling it in, and it will actually kind of hold itself up and take its own shape. So first thing I need to do is take a look. We have our logo over here in the navigation, and then we have Learn, Premium, Sponsor, and Contact. So let's go ahead and do that. What we will probably do is have a unordered list, which will contain list items. And I could do it here, but let's do this. I'm going to do how many list items? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 list items, like so. And this one this will be our logo, but we'll do the logo later. RoboSquid TV. Now that was actually kind of interesting. New to I have not used VS Code yet. It used its IntelliSense to write RoboSquid TV, probably because it's in the title. That's very interesting. Good to know. Learn. I would love to learn there's a way in Emmet to move your cursor faster. Oh, you know what? Right here, we're going to learn together. Emmet expand abbreviation is tab. Here we go, Emmet. Select next item. That might be what I'm looking for. What's that? Oh, these are shortcuts to help you click it, not to actually learn them. That's okay. We're not going to take up time to do this now. One thing I want to mention too is if you see here, I wrote learn in all capitals on here, and I did not write it here. That's fine. We can actually use CSS to change that to capital letters if we need to, or we could, change how we write it here. But I'll actually just write it like normal, and then we'll use CSS to send it to capitals later. I actually don't remember what the CSS is on top of my head because I don't use that fairly often, but we'll find it. Okay, so that takes care of the majority of our navigation. One thing I want to do here is we're going to designate this one. We'll give it an ID, and we will call this the, let's say, nav logo, like that. And we'll come back and do some stuff there. Now, next on to the hero area. Let's take a look at what we've designed here. So we have our heading, a paragraph underneath, and 2 buttons. Now the buttons we could do as actual buttons, we could do them as links, that's totally up to us. I would like to use real buttons if we can. Technically it is the, well, I was going to say technically it's the correct thing to use, but actually we are using them in links in this particular instance because these buttons do nothing more than link to other pages. They are not buttons that actually have a function, unlike the sign up button down here, technically. We will use, out of curiosity, what does Bootstrap use? I have not used Bootstrap in a very long time. I'm just curious if they use buttons or links. And Casey, welcome to the channel. Out of curiosity, do they use actual buttons or do they use links and then style them? They actually use buttons. So they have an actual button here. Yeah, we'll take from that and we'll use a button as well. Thank you for the sub, super appreciated. If you haven't subbed before, how did you find us here? I would love to know. So anyway, let's continue. Hero image. All right, so this looks pretty straightforward. This will actually only be 4 separate elements. So we'll continue in here. We're going to do an H1 using Emmet again, but what we can do is just type in the tag name and then these curly braces, what we want inside. Again, we could type in all caps, or we can just set CSS to do that later. That's totally fine. Either way you do it is totally fine. I do it like this because I like the ability that I can use CSS to style my page. Right now, I'm not worried about style. I'm not thinking about style. What I'm doing is thinking about markup. And then when we're talking about the design of the page, that's CSS job. So if we want this in all caps, that's up to CSS to do later. Technically, it would be faster if we hard-coded it in now. I'm not even going to start that argument. Paragraph. This was something I never really, we don't know what, this could change in the future. We could put some lorem ipsum in here, but I'll use what I wrote. It's for free or go pro. Move this over here a little bit. Thank you. The audio, I could actually move this a little bit closer, honestly. I don't know why I have this so far away. The microphone was definitely a purchase that I was very excited to make. Coding Phase chat room, I've never heard of there. I have no idea how I ended up in there. Fantastic to hear that it's getting spread around. We had some earlier people in here, but I messed up the stream a little bit. Sorry to those guys if they're hanging around. Okay, so anyway, let's go on to these buttons now. Actually, one more thing I want to know. Should we set a type? To be honest, I normally use links almost all the time, but technically, let's do this the right way. So they just say type button. It's not a submit, so that's fine. Perfect. So let's do 2 buttons. Now I am thinking. Yeah, I am thinking something here. You know what we need to do is, this is all fine and dandy. What I would like to do is add a container here, which is going to restrict the size to that middle column. So we actually need to add some kind of container in here, which will actually run vertically. You can see right here we have a vertical centering container. So what we will do, I don't like using markup in place of style, so I don't want to create a element that says just center this, but that is essentially what we are going to do. And the reason for that is because we have these full width elements and then we have the insides separate. Now we could use CSS Grid. I'm not going to start a whole thing on that, but what we do need to do is make some kind of container, and this is going to be a consistent container in multiple elements. So it will have a class. So we're going to say dot. Everything in me hates this, but we're going to do a center content, and I really hope we can think of something better later, because that's very similar to the old HTML tag center, which has been depreciated, but we're kind of using it that way. We're using it as a crutch. Maybe we'll think of something different. And these are the types of things. This is why we're doing a live stream. I want to get this stuff out of the way for our final video if I find out that we should have done this a better way. But that's why we're doing this together. All right, so now we have something that will actually center it afterwards. Just kind of space this out. Do we not have code? Oh, okay, there we go. Code folding. Said it wrong. Very important to have. Looks like we didn't have it there. It looks like it's just hidden in VS Code. You have to kind of hover over it, which is nice. I'll take it. All right, expand that back out. All right, we'll add our 2 buttons. Now, actually, our buttons will probably be in their own container. Yeah, they will. So we're going to add a button container. And this will all make sense as we go to style it, but the reason is, if you're wondering, is I need to push these buttons out to the sides of that middle column. So what I'm going to do is put them in a row of their own, and we'll actually use Flexbox to put a space between to push them over. So I try not to think about CSS when I'm doing markup, but you do have to do a little bit. So button container, let's add a button, and what does Emma do for us? Apparently it completes. Oh, that's not good, right? Hold on. Just because I know I'm not crazy. Yeah, okay, so Emmet failed us in this situation because it wants to auto-type this. Interesting. So we'll have to... I use the button so not often that it doesn't even look like a word to me. Why is this not auto-completing? I must be wrong, right? Nope, I just use the button so little, and we are not used to VS Code. I have no idea why that's not auto-completing for me. I really hope that I'm not doing something wrong. All right, I think we're okay. Button, and we have Learn and Premium. Just going to copy this. Premium. All right, Casey, we know you're there. Fantastic. All right, we have our buttons, and believe it or not, that is 100% of the markup of our hero image. We did it. Really, none of this is going to be too hard, to be completely honest. We'll move on to the next area here. Now that I looked before we started this, doing these images in the background is going to be a nightmare. Turns out there's no easy way to do that, but let's power on. So what we're going to do here, this is going to be just a text box with a button on the side, and we'll style that later. Looks like we have a heading here, and we don't. Yeah, I guess we'll use the centering content. We'll just use 100% width. Okay, so I see what we're going to do here. What we're going to do is go down into our email row. I am going to just copy this right here, and we can go ahead and fold up our hero row. We are done with that. Email row. Same situation, we have our row, but then we need something in the middle to center it. So there is our dot center content. Flush that out. Now inside of there we have an H1 that said sign up for email alerts. We could change that later if need be. And then below we should have a text box. Why did it say text? Am I wrong again? Text box and text. It's not. Text area is the. This is where I second guess myself all the time. I know I'm not wrong, and I'm gonna look anyway, because I'm not liking the autocompletes. Oh, I am wrong. Input text equals type. Duh. All right, continue. We're using an input, which the default of is text. Even better. We'll do a placeholder as well, and we'll just write something like your. Let's do you at email.com. And I could put this on the next line, but because visually they're on the same line, I'm just doing this for me, because I think of them as one component. In fact, this is probably going to have its own container. Let me just think out to myself. Yeah, okay, because if we're using Flexbox, if we use column, they're going to render underneath of each other. So what we'll do is we'll actually have one more container. This will be our .email form. We can get rid of that. Okay, and inside of our email form, we also have a button. There we go. And this will say sign up. Fantastic. And then what we'll do is we use Flexbox to make those horizontal. I want to say your name. I don't want to mess it up, but Memoy? Maybe? Welcome to the channel. I'm sorry if I totally destroyed your name. Yeah, how did I copy that? I meant to take that away. Okay, and we did it again. Our email row is complete. We can fold that up and continue. Features row. This one's going to get slightly more... Of the whole page, this one's going to be the most complicated, but it's not that bad. First thing we need to do is get our center container back in there. Center content. And now we're going to have two rows inside. So what we'll do is, let's just reference our picture again. So we have this beginners courses row, and then we have a top video row. Yeah, this will be fine. What we'll do is we'll have a feature box. Okay, yeah, yep. All right, we're here. So we have a features row, which actually, do we need... That's fine. Okay, we'll do it this way. We could actually probably remove the center content bit from this particular row, but for consistency's sake, we'll leave it alone. So we have our centered area. Now we need two rows of each which will have a content. So we have features row, and now we're going to have a... Let's do a dot featured item row, which will have two featured item boxes. I apologize if you guys can hear my dog. He's currently outside. All right, and what we have here is beginners courses. It's the second box in this particular example. So let's go here, H1, beginners courses. And I am going to write in some real text here instead of some markup. So did I put anything in here? Yeah, I did. It's a little... Okay, so we'll write a little something. If you are new to web development or are looking to learn... If you're new to web development or looking to learn... See, that's kind of saying the same thing twice. If you're new to web development or looking... Okay, web development, look no further. Check out our free video course. And maybe we'll change that later, of course. This is all subject to change. do something like that. And then in the first box, there is going to be some kind of... I'm not sure if we should do an embedded video. No, we're not going to do an embedded video. This will have to link off to the playlist. That just makes sense. Will we use a picture, or will we use... We'll probably end up using a picture, to be honest. Right now, we'll put a placeholder. We'll come back to that for a minute. So we'll say video box, and we'll come back to that. What we need to do now, that was our featured row. We have the centered content. Here's our featured item row. We're actually just going to copy that. Does this tell us? Okay, there we go. It's a little different from brackets. In brackets, you click at the end of the row and it shows you where it ends. And it looks like in VS Code, you click on the tag and it shows you where the tag ends. The reason I was doing that was we can now duplicate this because we have 2 rows. And yeah, perfect. So we have the video box again. Now these are actually going to be swapped. So I will cut this. Actually, I will just cut this. Put this here. And this will be our top video. Learn the new CSS frame. Well, it's not a framework. CSS module. We'll just call it Flexbox. A new way to create responsive, just responsive web layouts. And then, of course, we have our video box. Okay, and let's just take a look here. We have 2 rows, 2 columns, all makes sense. We are just going right through this markup. Honestly, there's just not much going on this page markup-wise. It's just a clean design, which is great. It serves its purpose, and it's honestly not that hard to do. Premium course library. This will be our last call to action on the page. If you don't know what I'm talking about with these call to actions or the design, I would highly recommend you go watch our last video on the channel where we go over the design processes and why we decided to design the page the way we did. Today we are just coding the page, which of course we will be doing in our next video as well if you join the channel late. On the 26th of July, the video should go up, but I am always late, so it'll probably be the few days after that, but stay with us. All right, so we can go ahead and minimize the featured row, move on to premium row. And what did we say that was? Premium video course library is our heading. Premium video course library. And what did we have below that? Just our button, right? Okay, so we have another button. We gotta add our types here. Type equal button. And we'll probably give them all a common class too. We'll come back to that in a moment. And this will say, what did it say here? Premium? Premium. Just like that, and that is all. Social row, we will well, actually, let's put a list in. We'll do it like this. I was going to say we're going to skip it for now, but no, we'll do this much. So we have a UL, an LI, and then how many items do we need? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 5. Wasn't that how many navigation items we had too? Just worked out nice. And does it matter what order we do it in? A little bit. I did put it in a particular order. Let me just move this over. Obviously, most important is YouTube. That is why you are most likely... I mean, actually, this is a point of perspective. If you are on my website, you are one of 2 people. You are either someone who is already on my YouTube channel, or you are someone who found the website through other means and is not aware that I have a YouTube channel. So what you put first, you might want to be whatever you expect them to click first, which, you know, they will often leave your site after that. So you want to leave them wherever it is that you want to keep them. In my case, I don't care who you are. I would prefer to have you on YouTube than on Facebook or Twitter, because if you're looking for my Facebook or Twitter, you would continue past YouTube and go find those, but people who are not specifically looking for those will be clicking on YouTube. I know these are little things that don't sound like they matter, but they do matter, and you should think about them. The click-through rate is something to be thought about. If I put Facebook first, I would inevitably have a few more people click on Facebook than on YouTube, even if it's a very small number. Facebook, Twitter, and this is basically just in line of importance. Twitter might be more important, but we don't really know yet. We don't have many people on either. Instagram, which is very unimportant, and GitHub, which is also important, but I like that it's at the end as well. It seems like it has its own importance spot, but also we don't have a ton on our GitHub yet, so that's what that's about. And there's our placeholders. We will replace those with icons after we do some styling. So I think it might be time to start fleshing out some styling. Let's actually first do something to our buttons. What I do want to do is add a class. We'll call it a robo button. That's far too long of a class name, but that's what we're going to do. And then what we'll do... Yeah, there's a few ways we could do this, but we're going to do it this way for now, and then if we have to change it, we will change it. I have 2 more buttons here. Let me just add that here. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I shouldn't have anything else. No, I think we're good to go. First thing I want to do is file, save the page, and I just want to see it without the CSS, which actually, again, new to VS Code. I don't know if we have any type of preview button. I'm sure there is a extension if there is, but I'll just go ahead and open up the file directly. All right, there we go. So it looks like we do have everything that we need. There's our navigation. Here's our home section, which you can see pretty much looks exactly the same except without the styling. We have our email box, which again looks pretty much the same. The video box is not horizontal because no CSS, but that's pretty much the same. So that's it. We did it. This is our website without any styling. So now we need to go in. We're going to do some basic colors first. Then we'll get into some more advanced styling, and then eventually we will get into the iconography. So guys, we are almost halfway done. Let's continue. Let me close these. I'm probably, now this is the part where you're gonna have to excuse me. I use Google extensively. Even though I've done things a million times, I second guess everything I do and I make stupid mistakes. So there will be Googling involved. That's part of the thing with live streams versus the polished recording at the end. First thing we're gonna do, first of all, I think I'm gonna need to reference here quite often, and we're gonna go to Material UI for colors, because that is our color palette, and we use the flat UI colors. The next thing I want to do, we already have our main CSS open. I think we can do a split view. We can, but you know what? This would be fine for me, but I'm stealing too much real estate for you guys. First thing we need to do is get a basic reset going, because I do not work with non-border box sizing. So we're gonna do. Actually, we'll do everything. Box sizing, border box, like so. And we're going to also go to the body and HTML, which actually should be HTML and then body, but that's okay. And we're going to do margin 0 and padding 0. Even though we actually don't need to do padding, I'm putting it in there anyway. We could be using something like normalize. We do have a video on that. Please be sure to go check it out. But we're just going to do this. That should be all we need. Yeah. All right. There we go. And the last thing we're going to do, let me think if we need that. Yeah, okay, we'll do that too. I'm going to select the body one last time, and we're going to do a display of Flex. I'm also actually going to do our fonts in here. Let me go grab our Montserrat, which is the font. Oh, that's Font Squirrel. We don't want that. We want Google Fonts. who will give us the embed code that we need. Select this font, click this guy right here, hit @import, take this, just pop that in the top of our document here, and we will set our font family like so. File save. Let's just make sure that that looks like how we expect it to look. That does not. File save. There we go. That's much better. And Flexbox is obviously taking effect, but not in the direction we want. So we want flex direction set to column. Control S. Refresh. Now, this is killing me. We do need a live reset, or else we could just be using brackets. Let me just see if we have live HTML previewer. That sounds good. There's also something called a live server. We'll just go with, oh, live SAS compiler. That would be nice if you're not using something like Webpack. Reload this, reload. Now I assume we get some kind of new button, I hope. It would be wonderful to know how this works. Here we go, here we go. Ah, it's in the editor. That's not great, but that's all right. Go here, Control-Shift-P, I believe, and it should be live. Nope, what did he say it was? Side preview, okay. Show side preview, like so. Okay, that's not too bad. We'll deal with this. Move this over. This is one of the cool things of Windows 10 that I do like. You can move that snap point like that. Yeah, that looks all right. Okay, I'm about it. Let's continue. Next thing I want to do is, I'm kind of working on general structure first. You could do this in any order you want, but I'm going to go ahead and get our featured rows going. One thing that was really cool about brackets, again, this is my first time with VS Code, is you could actually press Control E right here, and it would bring you into the CSS window. I wonder if that works. It does not. Okay, that is a nice feature, but oh well. And it might exist in some form of a plugin. Let me just check here, make sure our stream's still going good. Sorry, guys. All right. Perfect. All right, let's go back into here. Select our features row. And we're going to give, actually, what we forgot to do, well, okay, first of all, give this a display of flex. But we're also going to give this a flex direction of row. And do we have some kind of error? Do we have to save? Oh, okay, I see. It's previewing our CSS file. That's interesting. It doesn't... Ah, that's terrible. All right, well, that's just how that works. That's fantastic. All right, let's continue. What did we do? We just did this on our premium row. So we have video, premium video course library. Oh, here's where I want it to be. So featured item, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. We need to do this to featured item row. We did it to the wrong thing. Like that. And that should put video box. Yeah, that should, okay. All right, we still, because we have to make a lot of things flex items, so this is gonna, we have to go through a lot here. What I should probably do is give all of these some kind of, no, that's all right, that's all right. We're gonna treat them individual. I don't want to use markup as CSS. So we don't want one common class that just makes them all flex items. That's just not the way to go about things. So we're gonna work down the page a little bit. Let's go to our nav. It gets the same, well, we actually don't need to write rows, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Flex direction, give us a flex. This is killing me if this is the only preview. There's got to be a better way to do this. That is killer if it's just going to switch to the CSS all the time. Ah, that's annoying. All right, so we got our nav needs to be display flex, but so does the UL inside of our nav. So let's do dot nav row UL. Do the same thing. Starting not to trust this previewer. Okay, interesting. We'll go with that. Let's do list style type none. This is killing me. We got to get rid of this. This previewer is not what we want. As unfortunate as that is. Let's try one more thing. Live preview. This one says it's a server. I think that's more what we're looking for. Reload, reload. And let's see how that one works. Go live. Oh, hey, check that out. Please give me a functional window. Okay, we got to be on the correct document first, maybe? Let's go back here. Go live. Perfect. Okay, this I really hope updates live. So anyway, let's move this a little bit like that. Please tell me this isn't in my way. Oh, guys, I want to like VS Code so much. All right, here. Why are my tabs missing now? I'm pretty sure they're right under this thing, which is just awful. But we can access it here. I'm not sure if I like VS Code yet. We're gonna see. I mean, everyone says it's better than brackets, so I'm trying to give it the time of day, but yeah, we'll see. List style none, and that will get rid of our dots. Okay, looks like it's not a live preview, so we gotta save. There we go. So it is when we save. That's okay. We can do that. That takes care of. Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll flush this out more. So one thing we want to do is get the logo all the way to the left and get everything else to the right. So the way that I'm thinking that we will do that is, oh, Henry, that is awful. I apologize. That is probably my fault because I had to fiddle with the live settings before we got live. So I apologize that it didn't load for you. So using Flexbox, what we could do is, I'm trying to think if there's a good way to keep one item to the left and move the rest of them to the right. We can. All right, let's do one thing. Let's go to the CSS Tricks Flexbox page, which is a fantastic resource when you are looking to do your Flexbox stuff. Of course, there is a video tutorial on my channel, but even I need to reference paper when I am actually doing things. So this is great when you're coding. If you need ideas on the general concepts of Flexbox, please go watch our video on that. What I am looking to do, I'm trying to realize now, might not be as doable as I want it to be. I can move the whole line, but I don't know if I can space between. This is going to be a problem. All right, we might center it for now and come back to the concept. Let's do this for right now. What we'll do is justify content space between. I hope I did that right. Well, now how does that make sense? List style none is now reactive? Oh, okay. I don't know where this 4 came from. This 4 snuck in there and broke our CSS. All right, let's put this back. All right, it's not justify content. It might be align items because we're sideways now. Nope, gotta go back to the guide. So if we want to space items between, yeah, it's definitely justify content. Okay, why didn't that work then? Let's take a look at our code here. So first of all, go back to justify content. Save it. Take a look here. Let's inspect. I know that is very tiny for you guys. Bear with me. So we got to figure out why this is happening. First, the nav row does extend all the way across. Good, what I wanted to know. I already found out my answer here. But if you take a look, and I know you guys can't really see, but right now I'm hovering over the nav row. Actually, I can make this bigger. Like that. So that is taking up the full width. However, our UL is not. That is our problem. So what we need to do here is width 100%. And then our space between should work. Yep, there we go. Let me get rid of that. And you can see now that our content is taking up the whole page with space between each item. Why is this going all the way to the edge? Oh, because we did space between, not space around. So the better question is, why is there extra space here? All right, looks like this is why we use a reset. If you see that little green area there, it looks like there's padding to the left of our UL element. Why? That's just how CSS works. So let's go ahead and move this back over here. I guess I just found out that we are going to add UL to this list of things that we are resetting. Might as well add LI in there as well. Save. And there you can see it goes all the way back to the edge. So now what we can do is change this to space around. Okay, and that will get us pretty close to what we want, but what I really do want is this item to... That will work. Okay, stay with me. What we'll do is, we did give, if we go back to our HTML, we did give this one a custom ID of nav logo. Now, because there's no weird background here, no one will really know the difference. Watch what happens when I do this. First, I'm going to go back into my CSS nav logo. Okay. I'm going to go down here, .nav row, and we are going to target the, I already forgot, the nav logo. And what I want to do is give it a flex size of, let's give it 4. I want it to be 4 times wider than the other ones. And I also want the font weight to be bold. And that, we might make it larger as well, but let's just see what that looks like. Save that. All right, looks like that didn't work. Let's see if we can figure out why. Right-click this, inspect it, and are we targeting it correctly? Well, I don't see it. You know what? I don't think it's a direct child, and that's the reason. So I'm very used to using a language called Sass, which works a little differently, and we're trying to use vanilla CSS here. So stay with me. Actually, that should work then. Yeah, there we go. That worked. However, it looks like 4 might have been too much. Let's try 2. 2 is also too much. Interesting. And why would that be? Let's see here. Sorry, Henry, I missed some of your Try with Live server call. Yes, okay, so I'm a little behind on the chat. I apologize, guys. Does everyone do the HTML reset code? Generally, everyone has some kind of reset, whether they're using like normalize or something like that. But I would find it very hard to work without some kind of reset because of things like the issue that you just saw. Anyway, going back into here, we have our ID of logo. Here we are. Let me take off the flex. Okay, interesting. Let me take a look at my guide again for a moment here. So I just want to see one thing here. We should be looking at our grow. Now I also have a code pen where I did some stuff that I could take a look at. Yeah, because I think I'm not... No, it is right here. So if all items have flex grow set to 1, the remaining space... Okay, maybe it's actually because these are not set to 1. So here, yeah, that is probably what's happening here. So let's go back to our main CSS, go to our Nav Row, UL. We actually need the LIs. So go here, copy this. Go down here, give it an LI, and close this. Get back in there, get back in here. Flex, give them all a flex of 1. We'll give logo a flex of 2, and I think that will clear that up for us. File, save. Yeah, that's looking... Oh, because I gave it a 12. Yeah, that's looking much better, though. So let's give that the 4 that we wanted. File, save. Yep, that's pretty close to what we wanted. However, I am noticing that it's still on the edge of the screen, so that's not a proper space around. And we will investigate that. And actually, that looks about spot on for what I want. Hey, Casey, welcome back. So that looks right. However, I'm going to do a few more things. Nav Row. We're going to set the font size to 1.5 EMs. There we go. Make that a little bit larger. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's definitely bumped up right against the edge. Okay, because the flex grow, obviously, I'm not thinking. I'm sorry, guys. The reason that it's like this is because I actually set the flex to grow, which means there is no space to put around them. What I do need to do is I can center the text on these items. That'll take care of that. But obviously I don't want to center the text on that, so I think what I might do instead is give these all a little bit of a padding. So it's going to work like this. Padding of 0. That's probably too much. We'll see. 0.4 EMs. Save that. That looks pretty good. Let's do, but it's actually not enough. Let's do... Yeah, okay, I just realized what's about to happen here. Let's do 1 EM. I think I'm about to cause a problem. No, actually, that worked out beautifully. Okay, yeah, we are on track. That is working out super good. Thank you for the comments, guys. I am reading those. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. Hard to code and look at that at the same time, but I promise I'm looking. All right, so we're on track here. Let's continue on. So our CSS is getting a little dirty, but that's okay. This is why I like to use something like Webpack, so that I can break up my CSS files. I like to code as if we're coding like a desktop application. How you work with separate files. But this is how vanilla CSS and JavaScript is done, and this is starting out as a beginner's course, so this is how we're doing it. Let's go back to our stuff here. We are done with the Nav Row. We can go ahead and close that. Well, we're not done, but we're mostly done. Onto the Hero Row. So the first thing I want to do is this center content class, which we're using to create our middle column. We're kind of doing a fake CSS grid. We're doing it really dirty, but it works and it's easy to understand. So let's go in here, create our dot center content. Now, what we want to do here is define our center column in width. So the question is, what do we want that to be? And I'm thinking we're going to just do a solid 60% center. So width, 60%. Display, flex, and we will by default well, you know what, by default for the center content we're going to do a flex direction of column. The other thing I want to do, go back here, let's go back to features row. We got to start that too at the same time. Display flex. And we're going to do the same thing, flex direction column. I'm actually surprised they didn't use column as the default because it's the same as doing a block element, but it just is the way it is. I'm sure there was a good reason for it. That should take care of the majority of that. However, I'm going to add color to it now so that it's easier to see. We don't want that to be done to our center content because then it won't take up the whole row. We want that to be on our featured row. So I'm going to go back to material. Don't know how I closed that earlier. Take our midnight blue, go back in here, background color, paste that guy in. Oh, got his RGBA. That's not actually what I wanted. Let's do hex. I was working with RGBA earlier. Throw that in there. Oh, check that out. Okay, so that's built in. We get a color preview. I think we do get that in brackets, although I might have added that later on. I honestly don't remember. And yeah, let's take a look at that. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Oh, I actually want to do the hero row. I'm sorry, we're getting ahead. Hero row. There we go. And in the hero row, our color is going to be white. And let me think for a moment. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of ways you could do this, right? What I need to do is I need to center this area here, and we have it in a container. Let's take a look here in this center content container, which actually, yeah, never mind. We're just ignore me. Here's what we're gonna do. Just in the hero row, what we're gonna do. How do I keep getting this 4? I think one of my buttons is mapped to that for some reason. What we're gonna do here is align. Yeah, we're just gonna align items. Actually, it's gonna be justify content. Justify content. Center. Save. Nope, I was right the first time. It was align items. Align item center. Close? Okay, here we go. Text align center as well. Hey, there we go. And let's also do a healthy padding of 1 EM, like so. Looks like that. When we make our buttons bigger. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and bump that up. Starting to look good, since this is our hero, we're going to make our text quite large. So font size 2 EM. This is actually going to be quite large. Maybe this is too large. It's a little too large. Let's do 1.8. Still a little too large? Yeah, I think so. 1.5. Yeah, and we could play with it a little bit more later, but I'm pretty happy with that. And I think we will come back to the buttons. So hold on with those. We'll come right back to that. We're going to do the email list next. It's going to be pretty similar, pretty easy. .hero row. There are a lot of similar parts to these components which you might want to share, but I want to work with them on an individual basis, so I'm not going to create these helper classes. What a lot of people do, and Bootstrap especially do, is they create these helper classes. It's a class that just adds a specific set of CSS to multiple items, but I don't like doing that because it's like using HTML as CSS. It's not something you really want. I just started watching. Will the full stream be on your channel later? I'll tell you what. It's up to you guys. I generally don't keep the live streams up on the channel. I hope they're not boring, but this is something I needed to do. I needed to code this website before I had the polished video created because I need to get an idea of how I want the code to go for the video. So I definitely do this live. I wasn't planning on putting it on the channel, but guys, there's 7 of you in chat. Let me know if you think it should go on the channel and keep it up. I will do that if you guys like. Anyway, back to our hero row. A lot of this is going to be the same. A lot of this. So let's do display flex. We're going to do, yeah, I think our color here is white again. If I'm wrong, we'll come back. And keep going, keep going, keep going. We should be able to keep pretty much... Yeah, okay, so we'll take... You know what we'll do is we'll take a line item. We're going to copy all of the... In fact, let's just... Yeah, okay, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to copy all of this. In programming, you should never duplicate your code. I understand. All right, let me try and explain something real quick. Sorry, guys. If you're new to web development but have any programming experience, stay with me. Here's a little bit of a valuable lesson. I'm going to read your comments in a second, guys. In programming, you do not want repeated code. You should not have email row and hero row say the exact same thing except for like one item. Let's say there's one thing different about them both. What you don't want is the same code duplicated, because if you change one and it's supposed to change the other, then it won't work and you're going to have inconsistencies. What you should do is have it so that if you change it in one place, it changes it in all places. Now in CSS, that's a little hard to do, in vanilla CSS. There is another way to do it, but we have to start using advanced tools like Sass and Webpack or some other things to make variables, or they call them mixins and Sass. There's lots of other ways to do it. In vanilla CSS, we don't have much choice. What I'm going to do is copy and paste this. But that's okay because these are not actually direct copies of each other. All right, let me go to comments here for a moment. Casey, thank you for the comments on the channel. Thank you. I'm glad you love the channel. CJ also would like this on here. And P. Lewis Panda said he would rewatch it. Sure, guys, I'll leave it up. Absolutely. And do you ever use Adobe XD to mock up things? I'm going to sidetrack real quick because I love Adobe XD. It's right here. Yeah, I do use Adobe XD, and I highly recommend... Oh, no, I'm not signed in anymore. All right, we'll come back to that. And I highly recommend everyone use it. But on Windows, the beta is not fully featured yet. It is missing some options that are very, very useful. So I'm just waiting for it to get fixed. And no, I have not used Webflow yet. I think I've heard of it. I believe it's some kind of online drag and drop code editor, if that's correct. Let me know. Okay, let's continue on here. I want to grab, let's go back to our image here. In my head, I thought it was yellow for some reason. So we're using green. I don't know. Of course it's green. All right, anyway. I believe I use this light color green. Go back in here. Pop that guy right in. And let's take a look at what that looks like. Oop, hey, that's not what I'm doing. Perfect. However, we don't need the padding on this one. And we probably don't need the extra font size. So this is what I'm talking about. They're not exact copies, so it's okay that they're a little different. What I do need... Yeah, we're definitely going to need some space here. We will add just the smallest amount of padding to the bottom only. Let me just see something real quick. This padding should be generated because of the H1 object, I'm assuming. Yeah, because we're not using a CSS reset that removes the padding from the H1. So you can see that it's giving it a, I just saw it, where'd we go? Okay, it's giving it a margin before and after. And that's okay. It does make it bigger at the top than it should. All right, guys. Here, one thing I'm gonna do for the reset. H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. This is a bit of a weird part of reset code that most people probably won't have, but I'm going to do this. So it's going to be margin top 0. And what that did was it removed the extra spacing from the top, and what that does is it leaves me free to add padding right here. Like that. So I left the margin at the bottom. It still helps push everything below. That looks like it's maybe just a little too much. No. Wait, actually, is that double stacking margin? It is. That is definitely not supposed to happen. We have non-collapsing margin here. If you're not aware, margin collapses, which means that. Let me just wait a second. Yeah. What is that about? Okay, basically, if you see here, I'm trying to point at my screen. If you see here, there's margin above the paragraph, and there is margin below the H1. And everything I know about margin says that that should collapse into one area. However, it's not. And my assumption is because the margin is only on the bottom. I will come back to that, but yeah, this is not supposed to happen. I might take away my... If I take away my margin, though, then I have to add padding later. That's a bit of a problem. Let's do this. We're just going to do margin 0.1 EM. What does that look like? That's quite a bit better. And then I can add some padding there. Okay, yeah, and then I'm curious, does this stack now? No, it's still it's not collapsing. And it must be, I'm wondering if it's because, again, on the paragraph, it's only on the top and the bottom. This is not something I've had to deal with. Let's see. Where am I from? I am from New Jersey. However, here, this is the first time I'm saying it, so you guys here in the live channel get to hear this first. I'm doing something incredibly stupid, and I will be moving to New York next year. Not New York City, just New York State, and I will be YouTubing full-time. No, I don't make enough money to do that, if that was your next question. But I'm hoping by that time we do. So, guys, support the channel, and hopefully I can make web design tutorials for, the rest of time until I am too old to not retire, because that's where we are in life. Anyway, getting way off topic. That is the correct green. I just want to make sure it wasn't too dark. So let's go on to the next area for now. We will come back to this with buttons. Also, guys, got a new camera on order, so expect higher quality videos, believe it or not. Just spent a ton of money on a new camera today, thanks to our sponsor, who's not sponsoring this video, so I will not say their name for the moment. But if you watch our videos, you know who they are. And I have decided to put that money towards a new camera for us. So we will continue on with a nice new camera. So anyway, now what we are doing is going on to our featured content in our featured row. And it's going to live within that centered column that we were talking about. And it's going to have 2 columns, which are our featured item rows. So these will get a flex of 1. And that will just make them evenly spaced. That way they are 2 exact halves of the column. Display. flex, and these will be a flex of 1. Go back into our HTML here. We have our featured item box, which I think we can leave alone for a moment. We will center our text. Let's do that. Go back here. What else do we need to do? We took care of that. Our features row shouldn't require anything other than we have actually, yeah, we need to make this a flex item, or well, a flex container, excuse me. Actually, did we do that already? Feature item row, feature item row. Yes, we did. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. Man, we are getting somewhere. Okay. Check it out. Believe it or not, it's working. It's just not centered and it's a little hard to see, but hold on, we're gonna fix this right now. So where do we need to be? Go back to our HTML. Our featured item row needs to center our content. Very easy to do. And that will be, again, it's gonna be align items or justify content. It depends on the orientation, and I constantly confuse them, so I'm just gonna try both. Not Control C, Control S. That was not it, so it is align items. Whoa, hey there. All right, what are we missing? Inspect. It's often easier to check this out in inspection mode. Okay, so we have our center content, which takes up 60% of the page, and our featured items. Featured item content, featured item row. Hold on a second here. Okay, because it's taking up half. All right, so our center content, featured item row, content, featured item row. Yeah, it's definitely supposed to be here. Okay, we're missing, it's not taking our CSS. That's the problem. Featured item. Oh, this is features row. Haha. There we go. Did we already take care of this? All right, what is our featured item row? That is this guy right here. We need our features row to do this. All right, so we'll come back to that. Take that. Dot features row. This is why you probably shouldn't name things the way that I do, so that they're easier to understand. And this is why we're doing the live recording, so that I can look at these types of things and then give you guys better instructions when you go to do it, and we build it together in the polished video. All right, let's see what that does for us. Okay, so it at least did give us the align item center. Let's just now justify content center. Where'd it go? Features row. No? Do we still have a problem? Hold on, guys. I'm making some kind of dumb mistake here. We have our features row, which contains our centered content, which should be centered. So we have a similar thing going on here. We have the email row with align item center. So it's definitely supposed to be align items. Oops, align items center. You know what? I don't have this as set to a flex item. Display flex. You're still having a problem. Hold on. Here's our centered content, which is only taking up 60% exactly. So our features row should align item center. Well, that should definitely be working. Let me also justify content center. Oh, hold on. We did something. Oh, we did. You know what? I think we probably did it before, and I didn't realize because we didn't center our. text. Oh, and it looks like they're not getting their flex of 1. That's another problem. So our featured item box is not getting our flex of 1, it looks like. Let's take a look here. Featured item box. This is supposed to get a flex of 1, not this. Don't know how that got there. Getting confused by names, guys. Like that. And this is, what did we say? It was justify content, it looks like. Features row, justify content. Save. That's looking better. That is what we wanted. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, we did it. Okay, so now what I would like to do, I'm gonna put a picture in there so that it's a better representation of what we need. There's so many ways to do this. Let me look up something real quick. Responsive images, CSS. We could of course use a hack that uses a background image, but we really don't want to do that. We can also set, yeah, I was gonna say the width to, okay, never mind, we're gonna do it this way, 100%. Let's go into Photoshop real quick. And actually, we will use the real thumbnails. We'll put those in right now. So we're gonna just create 2 thumbnails. I'm gonna make them, we could use the picture element and make multiple resolution images. I'm not gonna do that right now or in this video. We're just gonna use the regular standard image tag. So, wait for this, new, and we will do something like, yeah, we could do, no, that's far too much. Let's do 500 by, I'm not sure. It's gonna be 450, and we'll just crop it in a moment. Actually, there was a way better way to do this. Close that. Open. RoboSquid, thumbnails. Grab our first thumbnail. Open that up. Image size. And what I want to do is change the dimensions pixels so that the width is about 500 and that makes the height 281. Press OK. File, save as, go to Documents, get this in our folder here. Create a new folder actually for images. And this will be our intro thumb dot whatever, it's dot JPEG. Save. Oh, press OK. Let's go back in here, go get our other thumbnail, which is for our Flexbox video, which if you haven't seen, please go watch. Great tutorial on Flexbox in my own opinion, obviously, biased. File, save as. This will be another JPEG image called Flexbox thumb. Save that, save, and we're good. We can close this. All right, go back into HTML. We're going to replace this now with image. Source is going to be /image. Oh, I don't like that. It looks like VS Code does not autocomplete the files here. That sucks. Guys, I'm starting to feel like brackets is better. I know absolutely everyone says that VS Code is better. And I'm going to keep giving it a shot, but I really do think brackets might be better. So anyway, we called this, what was this, intro thumb? It is really important. Can't get that wrong, which is really why the autocomplete is so nice. Intro thumb. I'm going to rename that. Flexbox thumb like that. Alt. This will be the thumbnail for intro to web design. We'll call it that. Do you have all the plugins installed? I mean, I don't know what all the plugins. I think there's thousands of plugins. Out of curiosity, autocomplete. Path autocomplete. Ah, yes. Okay, that's what we're looking for. I guess it's just more. I guess in brackets has a lot of built-in functionality, where I guess VS Code was more designed. Let's just save this real quick. It was more designed to add the functionality that you need, which that I can appreciate that. Let's see. All right, so we're going to do the same thing right here. Let's use emit source / yes. All right, image Flexbox thumb. That's what we need. That's what. Oh, it doesn't say .jpg. I wonder if that's unnecessary. It might not be necessary. That or it's a bug. So we're gonna have to look at that. Thumbnail for Flexbox course. Do that. And I'm going to give both of the... no, I'm not. I'm not going to give them a CSS class because I'll tell you why. Featured item box. This is why I like... This is what I'm talking about when I like to use CSS to make components. Oh, did I rename it with a JPG? Should rename. Let me see. No, these are... Nope. They're good. Anyway, when I like to create components, right, I could give each one of these images a class, but since they are part of the featured item box component, I actually like to work like this. So featured item box, I'm going to do the same thing, featured item box, but I'm going to target the image inside, because there will only ever be one image. Why is this green? Okay, just because it's empty. And what we will do is set the width to auto, or 100%. Center height to auto, which will keep it in scale, which is pretty nice. And save that. Get lost. All right, we can, no, this is what we want. So we have W3 schools open. Boom, there we go. All right, so we got one. We're somehow missing that one, but that was the one that they didn't, wait. Clearly this page is not refreshed. Because we need to restart our server, probably, because we restarted VS Code. Let's try that again. And there we go. Okay, so those are quite large. The way, okay, so I mean, what they're doing is they're taking up the whole box, which is totally fine. But I think I am going to make those smaller. I'm also going to vertically align this text. Let me do that first. And then what I can do is I'll actually set the width to, okay, all right. Here's what we're going to do. Go back in here. We don't need 100% of the box. Let's try and do 80%. And what we're going to do for the flex item box is okay, first of all, display flex. And then we will justify content, center, and align items. Now the reason I'm doing both is not only because I'm being lazy, because I am being lazy because I don't know which one is which, but I am also doing it because it won't matter if it's in mobile or not. When we rotate the box, it will just recenter it. I want this perfectly centered in both axes anyway, so that is exactly what I want. Try that again. That's looking pretty good, except I need to make, since I just made those flex items, I forgot to set them to column mode, so let's go back here. Flex direction column. Out of curiosity, and we haven't been going super fast. I mean, we've taken a few breaks here. How long have we been? So we're an hour and 25 minutes in, going super slow and keeping it conversational. And I would say we're most of the way there. I think you would agree with me. This is starting to look pretty good. You know what? This is 60% is too wide for the center column. That's one of our problems. We'll try 40% maybe. So let's go back here and find our center content. Let's do this as 40. Yeah, that's something. And we're gonna add some padding here. Actually, that's looking pretty good. So let me go ahead and add that padding. And we will do that to the features row. I'm actually, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do margin top, because if we do padding all the way around, it's going to start messing with some other things that we didn't actually intend for it to mess with. All we're trying to do is gain some extra space at the top, so let's take a look again. That's much better. Okay, back to the comments here for a moment. Yes, exactly, Henry, exactly. We use the arrow function to just target the items inside. That way we don't need as many custom classes or anything. That's what we use for these images. So this was looking, I'm really liking this. One thing I'm gonna do is, you can see here there's some space here, and right here this is just like a straight line. What I'm gonna do is carry this one EM pad. In fact, here we go. We're gonna clean up two things at once. Get rid of this. And we're going to go to the featured item box, and I think this is going to work for us. We're going to give this a padding of 1 EM. Actually, this will be, we'll do 1 EM, and on the sides we'll do 0.5 EM. File save, let's take a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm just trying to decide. I don't know why this one looks like it's smaller than this one. I mean, it's obviously not. It's just an illusion of the image, I assume. Yeah, that looks pretty close. I think I would like a little bit more text in these, and that's kind of throwing it off a little bit. I need to fill in these boxes with a little bit more text just to make sure it looks good. Let's just do that real quick, just because that really does help us bring the page together. If you're new to web development, looking for it, and check out our free video courses. Get started with no experience, and work your way to become a master. I work in retail, you can probably tell. It's the language is just drilled into my head. Let's see, learn the new CSS module, Flexbox, a new way to create responsive web layouts. Join us as we create a beautiful website utilizing Flexbox. Just add a little bit more markup, a little bit more copy. That's looking a little bit better. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. I think we can move on to the next row, and then eventually, actually, I'm realizing I would like this to be bigger, but we'll come back to that when we fix the buttons. Let's do the premium course library first. Back into our HTML. The premium courses row, which we have most of our stuff, but I am going to take our centered content, like so. Go back in here, boom. And then we're just gonna cut this out of here. Pop this guy in. Go back to our CSS, and we're gonna copy some of this from our hero image, or hero row. We just need the background, the flex direction, the color, the display. Actually, we need pretty much all of this. Yep, we need all that. Go back down to the bottom. And what was this called? I'm assuming it was premium row. Premium row. Okay, without giving it too much thought, I'm just going to take a look at what that looks like. Boom, done. Just like that. I love it when stuff works out. That is fantastic. Of course, we're going to come back and fix that button momentarily. We'll do the icons last too, because that's kind of its own thing. So let's get started on the buttons. I think we can do that. Now, with the buttons, we got to think. You know what? Let me go look at Bootstrap buttons again, and I'm going to tell you what I would like to avoid, but we might have to do it. Oh, if I could type, that would be cool. Bootstrap buttons. Okay, so so they have a dot button class which gives the basic styling, and then what they do is tack on the styling. Now I really do hate to do that, but I think that we are going to do something very similar. And it kind of makes sense too, because basically we're going to have our button, and then we're going to have a theme for our button based on the type of button it is. And that's fair. I can bend my own little rules about not styling with HTML for this purpose. So I'm actually probably going to end up changing our buttons here, because I think I called them robo buttons. Where'd we go? Robo button. Let's just call these. Oh, and actually, I would love to. Let me see something. Select all occurrences. Control Shift L. This is something from Emmett that I have been meaning to go over. Boom. So right now, everywhere it says RoboSquid should be selected. So if I hit backspace, you can see it backspaces the whole thing. And then what I'll call it a button too. I mean, we'll just steal it, right? We'll call that a button, and then we'll call the premium button button Pro, and that'll be our yellow button. And I think I think our default button is just going to be green. It'll be easier that way. Actually, it's kind of funny, is green is our only button. We only have one button on the page that is green, so technically we might want to start with yellow and change learn to green. But I'm not going to. We're going to do it like this. Okay, so we have a dot button class and a dot button pro class. Let's get started here. Let's go down to our CSS. Maybe we'll do like some kind of a... Ah, geez. What the heck is a CSS comment? Alright, whatever. No comment. Dot button. We're going to do here is give it a padding of... yeah, we'll do a padding of 1 EM. We'll do border none. Oh, that's cool. Take a look at the IntelliSense. It did the whole what's the word I'm looking for? Shorthand for us. That was very cool. Border none. I haven't used a regular button in a while. We'll give it a background. Nope, background dash color of that green color. And the text color is always white, no matter what. Okay, so now what I would like to do, let me just think for a moment, because I want them all to be a consistent width. I just don't know if that will realistically happen, but I could try for width, and we can give it a value of 6 EM, but I'm not sure. We might undo that, but I would like them all to be the same width, so we'll see. Premium. This is going to be a problem. We'll see. File save. Take a look at our page. Got so many windows open. Did that work at all? Nope, I don't think our page saved. Dot button, everything here, go back to our HTML. These are called button, file, save all. Oh, you know what? I think I was saving just my CSS and not the actual HTML itself. It works a little different than, okay, it just works different than brackets again. So I can actually make those wider. That's perfect. Yeah, this is working out super well. So anyway, go back here. We'll make these 10 EM, maybe even 12. We'll see. We'll keep it like that for now. We will. I was gonna give it a padding, but we'll skip over that. File, save all, or not a padding, a I totally forget. Don't even worry about it. Save. Go back to HTML. Save. That's looking much better. Okay. I am loving this. Guys, we are doing so well here. We're an hour and a half in. And honestly, I just want to say, you know, if you were working for a client, you could definitely sell something like this when we're done here. Something like this. I mean, I would charge a minimum $150 for this. But you could probably get $250, something like that. You'll probably end up making several other pages, but they won't add much to the work. And I think, like, realistically, this would probably only take us 2 hours. I'm just curious here, so like, let's say I should be able to do this. I can do this actually. So we're talking. Well, let's pretend. Yeah, well, I guess we'll do 250, and we can probably do it in an hour and a half divided by 1.5 hours. Yeah, guys, make $166 an hour doing this. All right. So anyway, back to work. All right, so what do we want to do next? I'm gonna work up here next. So yeah, okay. I'm just trying to keep some things in my mind. Let's go ahead and separate these buttons out. That was something that we were working on. I'm realizing now that yeah, it's not gonna work the way I want it to. We'll do space around instead of space between. I'll try and explain. Let me go down here. We have our button container. Let's go back into our CSS. Here is our hero. Where's our hero? Hero. I just want to keep this nearby. Dot button row. Was that it? Dot button row, like that. Button container. Excuse me. I should. You know what? I'm actually going to call it a row because I've been using that nomenclature elsewhere, so I don't want to change it up there. Button row. And you know the drill. Display flex direction is a column, and we are going to do justify content space around, like so. File, save all, or just save. Do we have a save all? We do. Control plus K and then S. What? All right, save. Yeah, that did not save our CSS. So, what does it say? Control K and then S? I hope that worked. Well, what a weird combo. I don't like that at all. Yeah, it clearly didn't work. I wonder if you can remap that. I liked Control A, or what was it? Control A? Control Shift S? I forget what it was in brackets now. Now I'm all messed up. Did we do everything correctly? Button row, space around, flex column, okay, index. Class.button, button row, okay. File, save all, this should definitely be working. Ah, there we go. Did I do column? That was dumb. I'm just so used to it now. Go back, we don't need a column, this was a row. My mistake, guys. Moving way too fast, not thinking. Save all, go back, and there we go. Now this was the problem I was considering. In my poster here, they are in line with the text, like so. I wonder if I can... We have some choices to make here. I would like everything to stay in line like it did here. That would be nice. But there's no way to guarantee it necessarily. What I would have to do is just increment the size of this until it kind of matched. I don't really see that happening. What I think I might do is just... First of all, let me take a look at something here. Here's our button row. Okay, so yeah. Oh boy, guys, we have some decisions to make. What are we gonna do? We can make, I mean, first of all, I'm thinking the buttons need to be bigger. And we can do that by making their size just a little bit bigger. And buttons are always going to be bigger. So what we're going to do is go back into our buttons. We're also going to make the font size 1.2 EMs. And padding is also going to be 1.2 EMs. And do we want bold? We probably, yeah, let's do font weight bold. We can always undo that. File, save all. Let's take a look. Whoa, that is huge. That's not gonna work. Interesting. Why did not that one get larger? Okay, because, okay, I understand why. Because I set my EMs large in here in the first place. Let's take a look at something here. Go back into our code. Let's go back up to our hero area. And here I said the font size is going to be 1.5 EMs with a padding of 2. I said in here we're going to be 1.2. So what we're doing is multiplying. We're taking 1.5 and then we're going 1.2 on top of that. So what we want is 1.2 REM, like that. File, save, all. It definitely made it smaller, but that definitely didn't get it where it should have been. Let me see something here. Is it because, okay, I'm sorry, I see why. I missed a spot. We need to also put it right here. Save all, go back. Hey, there we go. All of our buttons are consistent size. And actually, that doesn't look that bad, but this weird gap in the middle, that's just not working for me. So, alright, first of all, I'm going to make the buttons just slightly longer. We're doing a lot of stuff here. Width is going to be 12 EMs. I want to do space around. It's killing me. This is absolutely killing me. These design decisions. Oh, I don't know why I refreshed the page. All right, let's stick with this for now. We're gonna make the premium buttons yellow, and then we'll go from there. Sign up button. Why didn't you get fixed, buddy? Where's our input item? Okay, we just forgot the class on there. And actually, this is going to be a pro button. All right, let's go ahead and create our pro button. And we'll continue on a few other things as well. Pro button. Honestly, the only difference is that we have a background color, and that background color is, I don't think we've used the yellow yet. Get our flat colors, grab our, I think we're using orange here if I'm correct. File, save all, take a look at our page. Yeah, okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's hold it up next to this. Eventually, I'm going to go in and make these capital in a moment, but I think otherwise we're pretty spot on. Oh, hey, sign up still not working correctly. What happened there? Because we didn't save the HTML, because I think we just did save all. All right, we'll come back to that. Let's do. I really want to do that capital CSS, and I totally forget how it's done. CSS capitalize text transform. That's right, and I think it's to upper. Oh, it's just uppercase. Okay, it's not like JavaScript. Text transform uppercase. Fantastic. Go back in here. We can probably do. Do we do all H1s? No, we don't. Okay. I keep going into Chrome. Main. First thing I want to do is on the hero row. And then we're going to select the H1, and we're going to do text transform and uppercase. And I'll copy that because we're going to use it a few times. We're going to use it in our buttons. And is that the only other place? And one more place. We're also going to use it in our premium row, like that. Is that all? That is all. Fantastic. Now what we need to do, I also saw that our premium row was not centered, because it's not a... it is a flex item. We have align item center. We just need justify content center. Like so. Keep saying that over and over again. I apologize, guys. Let's take a look. Oh, that did not work. All right, let's take a look at what's going on here. Our center content is not centered, even though we have justify content center. Okay, that's clearly not the right one. Let's try align items again. I know we just had that. Okay, that's looking good. And then why is our button not centered? Okay, just because center content is not set up that way, and that makes perfect sense, because we don't always want that, I believe. Actually, look, it turns out that I think we did want that most of the time. Just take a look at something here. How did we handle it here? Okay, yeah, it's just most of the time we didn't need it. I'm gonna see if it works like that when we do put it right in there, but we might just need to do this a slightly different way. But let's go back to our centered content and do just align items center. I'm sure I got it wrong somehow. Save all. Yeah, it was not. It was justify content, always. No? What is going on here? Align items. All right, premium row is like so. Center content, again, is not centered. And I thought we took care of this. Premium row, align. I swear to God. Oh my God, it's align. All right, we actually did get it right. It's just that I did not undo something here. So go back to our premium row. And align this. All right, now we're back in business. Sorry for that little hiatus there. We ran into a small snag, but it looks like we got it. Everything is looking great. What happened here? It's because we got the centered thing going on. So hold on, this actually might work out better for us. Okay, our button row. Our button row just needs to be widened. Button row width 100%. Actually, this might even be a little cheaty, but what does 80% look like? That's looking much better. It's more in line with that text. I know it's not perfect, but that's pretty good. So I'm probably gonna leave it like that. Everything's looking good. This needs to be a premium button. I thought we did do that. Oh, wrong one. No, we did not. Okay, so that's an easy fix. I mean, obviously, we knew that. Take our Pro button, slap that on our Premium button, and that takes care of itself that way. Okay, what do we have to do next? We are really close to done, really. Save all, go back here. We got our uppercase stuff working. I'm going to add some padding there. Oh, we clearly still need to do this. And, yeah, I'm probably... Nope, that's the same size, huh? All right, let's... We're going to do this differently. This is not going to be under the same concept. Let me explain why. Let's first of all go back into our code. We're going to have to go back into the email area. All right, get rid of that. We don't want a button here. I mean, we do want a button. We just don't want these classes. It's going to be a little different for us. And I'll explain why as we go through here. So our email form, we're going to set this up. Okay, all right, stay with me here. Stay with me. Let's split this and get our CSS on one side. Move this over. Move this over. All right, where's our email? We have an email row somewhere, right? Okay, email row. And then we have dot email form. Yep. Display, flex. It's going to be a row. We want our input to take up like 80% of that. So what I want is a... Do I want an 8-to-1 ratio? Is that right? No, that's definitely not right. But we're gonna go with that for a moment. Display flex. We want our .email form, and we're gonna select the I lost it. There we go. Input with a type equal to text. And that'll grab the text item, and we will give that a flex of 8. .email form. Select the button and give this a flex of 1. Now we're going to have to do more to this. We also want to pretty much steal the rest of our button code. So let's do this. We do want that padding. We do want it bold. We don't want a border. We'll change the color. Color. We don't want the width. All right, let's just copy this all first. Put it here. Get rid of the things we don't want. So we don't want the width to be set. We'll leave the font size like that. We'll leave the text transform. Let's just get the right color. Okay. That will do a lot of what we needed. The only thing that we wanted, okay, hold on. Border, none, text, man, I can't remember what it's called. There's a whole bunch of extra CSS added onto text boxes and input boxes that we'll have to take a look at, but file, save all, let's see what that looks like. Close. Okay, hold on. That is actually very close to what I wanted, so we're doing it. Let's see here. I don't ever use Bootstrap. Yeah, you honestly, you really shouldn't. There probably was a time, there was a time and place for it. I used it, but we're well past that. There's absolutely no reason to use something like Bootstrap when Flexbox is as easy as it is. Same thing with CSS Grid. Like, there's a whole bunch of CSS frameworks that are grid systems for CSS Grid. What are you talking about? It's already a grid system. What a nonsense concept. Anyway, let's also get the width, not the S width, just the regular width, to 100%. Nope, not save as. File, save all. That is pretty nice, guys. I am super happy about this. We're gonna need some, what is that, padding in there? I forget. I can't remember. I feel like padding just goes inside for some reason. 0.2 EM. Yeah, that's... Let's give that 0.5 EM. Yeah, in fact, we'll just give that a solid 1 EM, right? Looking real good, and we'll do a text line center as well. So let's go back in our code. Here we go. Padding, we'll do 1.2, keep it consistent with everything else. 1.2 EM, text align center. We're doing so good right now. File, save all. And it says you@email.com, like we said before. That's looking so good. Let's see. I feel like these buttons are maybe just a little too big. They have too much padding, it looks like. Let me go back to our buttons. We'll just make this solid 1, not 1.2. And we'll go back to our email button. So this is what I'm talking about, where you don't want to use reused code. You want to use variables, and we will get into variables very soon. I haven't decided how I'm going to introduce those yet. Did I change the font size? I did. Okay. All right, let's see what that looks like. File, save as. No. File, save all. Yeah, okay. I like that smaller button. Yeah, they looked comical a moment ago. That's looking super good. Everything's really consistent. In fact, it's pretty funny. We're going to fit the whole page on just the perfect width of my monitor here. The last few things we have to do, we're going to get to iconography, but I want to do the backgrounds of these images. Let's compare. Let's see where we are. It's looking really close. Oh, hey, we forgot to capitalize that, or yeah, just wait. No, we didn't forget. It didn't go in correctly. It was in the hero row. Where'd it go? I said to grab the H1, but I think it's because it's not directly underneath. So find our hero row right here. Oops. Yeah, because it's in the center content like this. Much better. Okay, let's go ahead and do the images. Okay, so here's the situation here. What I would like to do is put these images in the background of our premium video course area and our email area. I'm also noticing here we're going to need more height on both of those. Yeah, and some padding there. So I looked up like how we should do this, what the best way is, and I am shocked to learn there is basically no good way to do this. There are some sort of hacky ways that still don't even work that well. So what I'm actually going to do is do the whole thing in Photoshop. I really do hate that, but it's what we're gonna do. So anyway, what you want to do is go to Pixabay. I believe it's Pixabay. Okay. Now I already know the picture I want was under San Francisco. And it was near the top. Boom, there it is. Yeah, we'll do a free download. I don't know how large. Oh, perfect. 1280 by 1920, but that's really. Yeah. Okay, hold on. We're going to use this. Go to Photoshop. Go into my downloads folder and let me go pick that out. Here we are. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crop an area of it. I don't know what the best way to do this would be. I'm probably going to look into this a little bit more before we get the video. But what I'm going to do is crop the general area that I want. So like right around here. Now take a look at these lines. I'm just using these because I'm going to center this. So ideally this is the area that they will be looking at. Ideally. So we'll do, actually that's too much blue sky, so we'll take that back. Should look something like that. I'm going to go with that. So we'll take that picture. What I want to do is take the blue that we were using, and we're going to do everything in here and just put it on top of our blue background, and that will make sense in a moment. Actually, sorry, we're using green on this one. The next one is blue. Okay, so first thing, let me unlock this layer. I'm going to put down a new layer, drop down our green on top of it. And we're going to set this to, I think we're just going to do, well, let's see what color dot. Nope, sorry. Just overlay then. No, we're not. We're going to do this the other way around. Put green on the bottom, make this one normal, put the regular image on overlay. Let's mess with the contrast. Okay, like that. Like that. And we're going to set the opacity way down to like 8%. Okay, that's clearly too much. Let's try 15. Nope, even more. 25. Something, I don't think I like overlay. Hold on here. Hard light doesn't look bad. Luminosity doesn't look bad. Actually, luminosity, if I'm correct, kind of treats it like a black and white image. So that's probably the closest to what we want, actually. Let me just go ahead and mess with this a little bit more. And turn the opacity down just a little bit. Like that. Okay, so file save as. This will go in our images folder under, yeah, we'll call it San Francisco green, and we will make this a JPEG of, we want to watch out for our file size. We should probably run it through some kind of optimizer when we are done. Right now, I was pretty sure it gave you, yeah, there we go. So it's going to be 0.5 MB. We can probably, this really doesn't need to be that high quality. 72 kilobytes, I can probably sacrifice just a little bit more. 62.5 kilobytes, I can survive with that. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't know how bad that'll be, but I don't think it'll matter too much. Let's see. Give me a moment. I will pull this into frame. Images. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you really, I mean, yeah, for our purposes, the quality doesn't matter that much, so that works out very nicely for us. I'm going to use the exact same template here, except I'm going to change the color from green to our blue color. And then we're going to use a new picture. Now this one I don't have picked out yet, so we're going to type in crowd. Okay, let's do crowded street. That's what I want. Oh, and that is the exact image that I used. And I do think I like that one. Let me just browse through here. Oh, I do like that one as well. Especially because we have like this professional kind of photographer thing going on here. It does speak to the design portion of our channel. I don't know how much the programmers will enjoy seeing something like that. I like the shopping here. However, my main audience is actually American, so I'd rather stay with an American city like New York City right there, but I'm trying to get people. All right, so I think we're going to go with either this image, which actually I'm thinking it is too bright, or this image, which is definitely what we're going to use. So free download, do the same thing, download that. Alright guys, if it feels like I am getting tired, we've been going from 8 o'clock, it is now 10, and I am a very tired person in general, but we're still going to do this, but I apologize if I'm winding down slightly. Alright, let's pop this guy into frame. Like that. And make it 15%. The other thing I would like to do is there is some kind of business back here called Super Dry. I am just going to get rid of that. So let me go ahead and rasterize the layer. I can probably even just use content aware fill. If not, I'll take care of it manually. It's not a problem. But If I can do it this way, that'd be nice. Fill, content aware. Hey, check that out. And now we have a blank flag. Way to go, Photoshop. We could actually even, do you guys want to sneak the RoboSquid logo in there? Let's just do that real quick. We're just going to sneak it in. No one's going to be any of the wiser. RoboSquid, take my logo right here. Pop that guy in. Oh no, I didn't want to open it. I was trying to drag it. Just get this around the same orientation as the flag. I'm not gonna try super hard here. I could go really hardcore and like match the curvature and everything, but it's barely ever gonna be seen. Let's rasterize that. Give it a little bit of a blur because it definitely wouldn't be that sharp. Like right around in there. Oh, it's pretty noticeable, huh? Hold on. Let me just see. What would it look like if we just kind of... It's really, really noticeable. All right, kill it. Kill it. It's not going to work for us. File save as. We're going to do this here, and this is going to be... Hold on, we're in the wrong folder. Images. This is going to be a JPEG, of course. Try and keep our file size down. And this is going to be NYC blue. Save that and get that all the way down to 5. 62.8 kilobytes. Fantastic. Kill it. Illustrator accidentally opened. We can kill that as well. And get you guys' comments back open. There we go. Get this out of here. Get this out of here. Okay, we're back. Now this is pretty easy. All we need to do is we're going to go to our email row. Hold on, email row. Here we go. There's our background color. So our background color will be applied first, and then what we'll do is it'll load in after is our background image URL, and then put in image / hey look, our thing's not working. Oh, I guess it is. This is going to be our San Francisco green image. Background position is going to just be center, which I believe works correctly, and background repeat will be no repeat. And we will copy this, and we will put this in our premium row right after that. But of course, we will change the image to NYC. Oh, I guess that doesn't work. Crazy. NYC blue. .jpg. File, save all. Let's see if we broke it. Moment of truth. Okay, so it worked here. Clearly we missed something here. However, the width is not large enough for this, so what we're going to have to do is stretch the image. As for why it didn't work here, I'm not actually sure, because this is the one we did first. Let me see here. Oh, it's missing the JPG. Yeah, I don't know why. It looks like our autofill is not doing that. .jpg, and we're not going to repeat, but we do want our, what is it, background size. There we go. Background size. Hold on here. Background size. And that is going to be, what is it, stretch? Why is it not giving me IntelliSense? Come on, IntelliSense. Let me look this up real quick. CSS background size. Okay, so obviously we can do pixel values. It's not, oh, okay, we can do auto. That's exactly what we want. Background size is auto. You would think that would be the default. I guess that's not. It's probably just taking the image. Let's see if that worked first. Files. We'll do it on both because they are the same size image, so it shouldn't matter, but just in case. Save all. Let's take a look. What do we got here? Ah, that's much better. Yeah, that, hold on a second. This didn't work. Why didn't that scale? Background size. Okay, you know what? This might actually need to go last. After repeating at least, because that rule might overwrite it. File, save all. No, it's still a problem. Oh, you know what? Are they both being cut off? Yeah, I didn't even realize they're both being cut off. Auto, default value, background image, oh, I'm sorry. It just keeps its own. That's not what we want. We probably want cover. Scale the background image to be as large as possible. So, okay, yeah, we want cover. That was definitely our mistake. My mistake. I'm trying to blame you guys, obviously, by saying it's our mistake. Cover. Let me just make sure. Yeah, no, we'll do cover. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Does that look like this? Yeah, it's just that the images are not large enough. So I can go back in and replace those with larger. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. That quality is actually pretty atrocious. I hate it, but it is what we're gonna do. So, I guess what I'll do is, I'll just do it for 1920 by 1080 screens. I am on a 4K screen. I know they are getting more and more popular, but I think we can scale up from 1080p to 4K with no problem. I don't know why I didn't do that to start. I apologize, guys. Let's go into Photoshop. We'll do 1920 across, and we'll do like 500 pixels up. File, new, width, 1920. We'll do like 700 actually, just in case. Alright, and that'll look like that. I'm sorry we have to do this all over. This is my fault. I apologize. Let's go back into downloads. Let's grab both of our images. Pop those guys in. We'll try and just bang this out real quick. And this one will look like that. And this one will look like that. They will both be at 15% with luminosity, but in between we will have a layer for each. Open up my material colors again. We have green as our San Francisco layer. Oh, we already have blue selected. Throw blue in there. And then for green, like so. Fantastic. Okay, so we can do this real quick. I do still want to get rid of this super dry thing real quick. We're just going to rasterize our layers. Select. Shwabam. We're going to ShamWow towel this flag. Edit, fill, content aware fill, select, oh, it kind of messed up. Let's try one more time. Edit, fill. Yeah, okay, you have to like reselect it or else it'll just do the same thing over again. We got a really good one last time. Let's try and get that again. Edit, fill. There we go, we did it. File, save as, JPG. We'll go a little bit higher quality this time. Yes, we want to replace it. We'll bump it up to 8, which is going to be just under a megabyte, 100 kilobytes. Oh, no. Oh, we're still totally fine. Kill these. File, save as. I didn't mess with the contrast this time. How does it look? It's pretty bright. Let me mess with the contrast real quick on this particular image. Okay, that's looking pretty good. File, save as, again, JPG for JPEG. Overwrite our San Francisco file. Boom, boom, boom. Take a look at our website. It's cached. Hold up. Control Shift F5. Is it just F5? Control F5? Come on, guys. It's definitely not the right image. Hold on here. Just make sure indeed that these are correct. Yep, that does look good. It's just being cached here. Let me start the server and start it over again. Oh, okay, this server was down. I don't know why. Close this, close this. Click on the HTML, go live again. It is still using the wrong images. How is that possible? Alright, man, I gotta take these. Thanks for showing me how to use it. Alright, Casey, we will see you next time. Sorry if I missed you. I'm not looking at the comments often enough. And we will catch you soon. I promise these images are correct. It looks like they're being cached for some reason. I'm not sure why they're doing that, but I'm pretty sure these are not the images we were using before, because these are quite a bit higher quality now. But we'll move on for now. I do want to make both of these bigger. So first thing I want to do is go back in here and our email row, go to padding, set this to 2 EMs, and I'm going to do the same thing to the Premier row. File save, or file save all. Yeah, that's a little bit better. It's still showing us the wrong images, but we'll ignore that for now. All is looking good. Let me compare it one more time. Yeah, I mean, it's a little tighter up here. I do like that it's 2 lines like that. In fact, I might push that down just for visual preference. I mean, this is not something you have to do. Now I'm just doing it to do it. Where is it? Hero row or Go Pro. I'm just going to add a little break in there. File save all. I just like that. I don't know why. It just looks better. So we're going to leave it like that. And I think we're at the point where we can do icons, guys. I think we did it. So let's do it. It's time to do icons. First thing I'm going to do is go to Icon Moon. And actually, it's ICO Moon, excuse me. ICO Moon is a really cool app that will take all of your SVG files and convert them into icons you can use on your website. So what I'm going to do is new empty set. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. We're going to import icons. Here we go. First thing I want to do is import the RoboSquid logo. Unfortunately, it is going to come in whatever color I put it in as, but we can fix that in a moment. I'll explain. Let's just open that logo, and then what I'm going to do is just search the rest of them. So Facebook. There we go. So we can do this a few different ways. I'll just use these. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We'll use this one. GitHub. And lastly, Instagram. All right, do we have any other icons? Just take a look here. So we have our logo at the top. We have our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and GitHub, and that is all of our icons. Fantastic, we did it. Now what we need to do is go to, it's been a while since I did this. Manage projects. Here's our untitled project. We want to download our untitled project, and we want to generate SVG and more. Click on this. Here we go. Gives us a little bit of a preview. I think I downloaded the wrong thing here. These are our icons. It looks like we're missing our logo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I thought I saw. Oh yeah, selection 5. Somehow I guess we didn't select our logo. So let's go back to manage projects. Click on this one. Load this project. Here we go. Actually select that, and then try and get back to where we were here. Oh, just generate SVG and more. Download. Gave us a zip file. That's actually perfect for me. Show in folder. Oh no. There we go. Okay, so all we need here is, well, we need a few things, but mostly what we need is this symbol defs.svg. So we'll just edit that. We're going to copy all this crazy nonsense. We're going to go into our editor, and what I'm going to do is paste it way at the bottom of the page after our footer. Might actually need to go at the top, but I'm going to see if we can get it to go at the bottom. And what this does is it defines our icons as mathematical SVG images, and then we can just use them wherever we please. So let me go ahead and open up this, and you can see in the demo.html, let's edit that real quick. Okay, that's a little rough. Hold on, let's see if we can just open the demo. Okay, we did it, but it's, all right, I'm gonna have to extract everything. I was trying to avoid this. Sorry guys, I was just trying to be lazy. New folder, icons. Dump all these guys in there. Demo. Okay, so these are the names of our icons, and we can use them like this. Let me just inspect this. So they come with an SVG object, and they have a use object inside. I don't know why we have two here. Yeah, that should be fine. Let me see if I can copy element. I think this will work. Facebook. Yeah, that should work. Let me just save it to make sure it did, because then we'll just copy and paste it a bunch. File, save all. Go back here, and go back here. Whoa, we did it, but I promise it's not supposed to be that big. I've actually never run into it being that large before. I'm not sure what that's about. And it might be because of the width being set here. Oh, I know why. We're missing our CSS. I apologize, guys. I'm so used to doing this. What we need is this style.css. Edit. Take this. So it comes with a little bit of CSS that you have to add as well, but it's very, very minimal. In fact, I'll show it to you because it's almost nothing. Here's our icons. Where'd they go? Here we go. And there was our CSS comment. Single colored icons can be modified like this. You just have to set their color value. And they set the width in EMs here. That is why it was so huge. Servers offline. Okay, looks like it's good now. File, save all. Let's try this again. Nope, still ridiculously huge. That's going to be annoying. I mean, we can fix it by setting the size ourselves, but I do know that it's not supposed to be like that. Let's check out this README. SVG folder contains blah, blah, blah. You can use the files in your own HTML after copying this SVG. You can reference your glyphs like the following. So we'll just copy this. should get this code from the SVG tab of the Icon Moon app or by referencing the demo.html file. Let's just see, is there an SVG tab? Okay, so like we can get basically what we can do is we can click here and press get the code. It gives you the definition, and this I believe is already in our stuff. Let me just copy this. I believe it's what we already have, but let's just find out. Nope, we definitely had more before. So anyway, file save all. Oop, that's the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. And there we go, a little Facebook icon. Well, let's do that with the rest of them real quick, and then we'll make them look pretty. Back here, I'm gonna copy this. This is gonna be Twitter, Instagram, GitHub. Let's go back to our reference. It's just Instagram, Twitter. Okay, the rest of them are named normal. It was just Facebook that was number 2. So go back here. What is this? Facebook. This is going to be Twitter. This is going to be Instagram. And this is going to be GitHub. Getting real close to done, guys. And then the first one we need to do is just YouTube. Like that. We're going to do a few more things. First off, how did they say we're going to change the color? It's of the what? Of the just icon class, I believe it was. Oh, they actually used fill on the .icon class. Yeah, okay, alright, hold up. Here's what we're gonna do. Go back here. Go back to our CSS. I want those circles around like we have in our example, which went where? I think I closed it. Oh, here it is. That is not it. Okay, I want these circles. I used some pre-made icons, but we can actually do the exact same thing right now. So what I'm gonna do first is turn all of these list items, which are where? Right here, into circles. So we're gonna go back into our CSS. After our buttons, we're gonna talk about our social row. In our social row, we're going to do the same thing as we've always been doing. So this is display flex. We do want it to stay as a row. And what we want to do now is actually what we do want to do is put in a center content. Keep everything centered, keep everything nice. That. Grab this, put it in here. Okay, perfect. Dot social row. Inside is our center content, and inside there is our UL. And the okay, let's do a few things. UL width. Going to be 100%. Copy this. UL, now we're targeting the LIs. Also, we want to distribute, we're going to justify content space around like that. I think it's probably a line items actually. Okay, and then for this, what we want to do is background, dash color, and we're going to give that a color, a flat UI color. We will use the same, it's a hard question. Let's use that midnight blue for now, and maybe we'll change it later. And I want border radius of 50%. Okay, and one last thing is text align center. That is most of what I want. File, save all. All right, clearly something is not working here. I'm assuming the server somehow went offline, even though it says it's not. File, save all. These don't say that anymore, so let's start it again. Go offline, go live. Okay, we did it. The problem is our LIs are not defined in width, so they are stretching out, but they are a circle like I wanted. One problem is they are still showing as a column. Let's just take a look at that. Our UL, okay, so we can get rid of that in a moment. Our UL is, okay, we never set the UL as a Flexbox. So anyway, we'll go in here. This is a Flexbox. Making our LI items flex items, and then we also want our width. How big are these icons? They're 1 EM. Okay, so it should just be also 1 EM. How are we looking? Okay, we got something. I just want to add some padding, and they're not centered. We'll come to that in a moment, which they definitely should be, but that's okay. Okay, we have to get rid of our text decoration, and then what do we need to do to center this? The UL isn't centered. Okay, we got this. Don't worry about it. Go back in here. Okay, first of all, the UL, a few things. We need the social row is displayed as a flex, but our align items needs to be set to center. And in U, the list style type should be set to none. And for U, we also want our fill to be white. All right, let's see what that looks like. File, save all. We're so close to done, guys. And that's good, because I could really use a break. All right, we still have a problem here. Center content is not being centered. In social row, is this, again, I keep doing the exact same thing. Is that the problem? That is our problem. Justify content. Perfect. Okay, we're almost done. And then this is what needs the justify content. Okay, all right, here we go. Align items. This needs to be justify content. I keep doing this constantly. Justify content. And then our UL, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want to take that, copy it, there we go. Social row, put it here. Good. File, save all. Also, hold on here, because I don't think fill worked. Color, I thought it was color, but here we go. We did it. Okay. I'm just going to add some padding to the row. And I will also make these just one a little bit smaller, 1.5. Save all. Okay, let's see what we're looking at here. That is looking beautiful. Okay, I think we are basically done. I just want to add our logo up here. And I think we did it. I really think we did. Yeah, this is looking super good. We could do some animation and stuff after that, but... Oh, and I gotta fix this right here. But okay, so let's do... Okay, two things. First of all, let's just go to our email form, and I'm just gonna select that heading and give it a padding of 1 EM. And then we're also going to go to our logo, but first what I need to do is see, okay, it's just called icon logo, fantastic. I don't know why I copied it, because I have to copy this first. And actually, I should probably be able to just drop this in my navigation right next to the text, but if we could only be so lucky, let's see if that works. Oh, and we also need this to say logo. I just realized I probably can't upload this, guys, because I can't guarantee that all of this music is free to use. No, see, it branched out. I was originally in a free to use music, but I'll leave it up for a little bit, but this video will have to be taken down eventually. I apologize. I was using copyright-free music for a while, but Spotify Radio went out of it. File, save all. Okay, so I think we have a problem with the server again. Let's kill that, go back in here. Yup, that's in there. Okay, let's close, go offline, go live. We did it. Okay, what we can do is just make that a little bit bigger. It doesn't look like that fixed itself much. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, because it's in center content. Okay, we can fix that as well. It's not part of email form at all. I'm totally off here. And I want to also go near my navigation, Nav Row. Nav Row into my UL into the nav. Oh, I could just start there. I'm sorry. Nav logo. Dot icon. Font size 2.5 EM, which that's definitely too much. Let's just try 2 EM, which is also probably too much. File, save all. Yeah, okay. That causes another problem, which we can fix a lot of ways. I'm probably gonna say we can use Flexbox and baseline it. That's one option. There's a lot of ways to do this. I mean, the other thing is there's also white space underneath our SVG that we could work with, but we pushed everything up like this. So let me just see here. What we're gonna need to do, let me see what happens. What if we do something like this? Um, Align items baseline. Okay, that worked for most things. I think these are baselines is the problem. It just looks visually off because, again, I said there was spacing issues there. So let's also just see what this would look like. Display flex. And then also align items baseline. Yeah, okay, the problem is that this logo sits kind of high. So what I think I'm going to do is actually edit the SVG file so that it's more correct. But the other thing I could do is just add another box inside and distance it a little bit. I'm going to probably call this done for now. I'll go back and make a small edit there. But let's take a look. And if you guys are still in chat, I know there's a few of you still hanging out with me. Let me know what you think. We never got those images fixed, huh? That's a little weird. I wonder if that is for sure. I mean, it probably is the correct image. I might need to make them even bigger, but that would be annoying. Especially, I really don't feel like that's the same image because that looks like horrible quality right there, and I think we did do a little bit better. Let me just double check. Again, we're not going to fix it now. I think we're pretty much done here. I'm going to call the stream complete here. I'm just kind of messing around while I have you. I guess it does look pretty bad once you blow it up that big. All right, so we can work with some higher quality images too, and probably not make them as tall, and we would have a similar situation. Oh, you haven't heard any music? You guys can't hear that? Oh, I think I did turn it off for your stream, didn't I? I did turn it off. All right, solid. Thanks. I am listening to music, but I turned it off for you guys in the beginning of the stream, so we are fantastic. I will leave it up. I think we did it. The video that is coming out on the 26th, or again, like I said, it'll probably be a few days late. Also depends on how much animation we do. We will discuss, we're probably going to make this mobile ready as well. Right now we did not do anything for making sure this was mobile ready. Now part of Flexbox will help just scale it. So like if you notice, it'll look pretty alright for the most part. Obviously when you start getting to this size, that's not working out so well. But our web design doesn't change much. All we're going to do is change the flex direction on these so that they lay vertically. So we're actually pretty okay. And then what we'll also do is we'll change to make the centered area 100% width instead of 60%. So that'll help out a lot. I think we did it, guys. I think we did a pretty decent website. I would not be upset with this. Thank you for immortalizing me on your hat. Yes, absolutely. P. Lewis Panda. Gotta have it. This is from China. You can get one of these for like nothing. All my hats are. All my hats are from China. There you go. There's my secret. We could also go in and do some like subtle animations and stuff, but oh, I never fixed that. Wait, I should have. Something is not correct. Email. I think I never fixed. Yeah, it's email row, not email form. Email row, and then one more thing I want to fix was this right here. Premium row. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. Copy this. Go all the way down here, premium row. That's much better. Okay. I could keep going and keep fixing it forever, obviously. This could be boldened. Actually, no. Yeah, it could. Something could be done here. The contrast is a little off. But whatever. I think this is the majority a good website. I'm pretty happy with it. We got to fix the whole baseline issue up here, like I was talking about, but we will do that. We will. This icon really needs to be fixed, or I'll use some kind of square icon. I'm not sure, but I think we did it. This is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I like some of the design choices we make. Not everything is as perfect as it was in the Photoshop document, but we knew that that was not going to happen. We cannot make a one-to-one direct translation. Ooh, just fell a little bit. I had my foot up on something. We cannot make a direct translation from Photoshop to the web because it's different. Like Photoshop is really, if you think about it, it's like a print media. It's printed on a piece of paper virtually, and the internet is a dynamic, changing, flexible container. So our website won't ever look 100% the same as the Photoshop document, but it's our job to get it as close as possible. I might also make the navigation bar slightly less tall. That's a possibility. And I might give the slightest amount of drop shadow to these buttons, or I'll give them, actually, you know what I will do? I'll even do it right now, is give them a border of 1 solid, 1 pixel of black. That'll just give a little bit of something to separate. Save all. I might even not, like black might not have been the way to go. It should have probably been, yeah, it's got to be like a gray color, because the black is just too jarring. And I would have to do it on, actually it wouldn't even work here, so I would probably just take that out, to be honest. But my point is, you could sit here and you can make little adjustments basically forever until you really just can't find anything. Oh, I forgot to. All right, I didn't save it. I forgot to hit border none again. But whatever, we did it. We did it. I'm calling it here. I know I forgot to keep the border off there. But what we're going to do is remake this website again. But I'm going to make it a little bit more efficient. I'm going to make it a lot easier to follow in the video coming up. And we will go over making it mobile ready. Again, you should make it mobile first if you can, but that's it. All right, guys, this was super fun. We spent the last 2 hours and 48 minutes designing this website. I promise you that you can do it in 1/3 that amount of time if you don't take as much time talking as much as I did. You could probably sell a design like this, anywhere between $100, $250-ish, maybe even $300, depending on who, what, when, and where, or why. And that is it. All right, guys, thank you very much. I'll hang out in the chat for a moment. Here, let me answer some questions. Actually, let me answer some questions. Let's see. Really enjoyed watching live problem solving. Can't wait to have that knowledge base myself. Thank you very much, sir. Using Chrome DevTools is absolutely vital. We'll have a video on that eventually. I'm going to have to work that in at some point. We will do a Chrome DevTools tutorial soon. Pretty cool in not a lot of time, just some minor tweaks, and it would be production ready. I'm assuming your name is pronounced Mexican. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we're pretty close to a production ready website in under 3 hours, and that's stretching it, even saying that. Okay. What media queries might you add for a smaller screen? Media queries, there's a lot of ideas of what a proper media query would be. Like, they set to different size phones and things. My philosophy is you set the media query where the website starts to look bad. So, for instance, it's looking good, it's looking good, it's looking good. Hold on, still looking okay, still looking okay. Yeah, somewhere around here, I would probably start to wonder if I wanted to create a media query, which this is at about 1,400 pixels across is when this particular website, I would probably move it into the next stage of media query. You said you'd be using Sass variables. Will you be using Sass variables and such to speed stuff along? I use Sass variables when I am designing websites, but in this particular video, no, we're going to be using plain vanilla HTML and JavaScript. sorry, HTML and CSS. And if you can use variables, absolutely good on you. I was considering using native CSS variables, but I haven't used them in anything production yet. And they're pretty new, and I don't want this video to be about that. I want it to be about Flexbox. So in this particular video, we're going to be using vanilla HTML and CSS. And I hope that if you have the ability, you will go on to use the more advanced languages that you know. Otherwise, stay tuned on the channel because, yeah, obviously we will get into that soon, but I just want to... This whole channel currently is running under one playlist, the Web School playlist, which is currently designed to take you from the beginning of never creating a website before in your life to the end of being a professional web developer, which I am not. So, that might be hard to get to, but we're going to try. So Sass will eventually come up later. There's a possibility we'll never go over Sass because of native CSS variables, even if they're a little ugly. But we'll probably get into that at some point soon. All right, guys, maybe we are done with questions. I know there is a delay, but I'll tell you what, I'll hang out in the chat and I'll type to you guys for a little bit if we have anything more to say. And yeah, guys, I will see you soon. I have so much work to do on this video still. Hours and hours and hours and hours of no sleep. So I will see you guys as soon as it is finished. Have a good one. Have a good week. I know it's a Tuesday. See you guys.